Let's see if it goes.
I see your hand.
Oh, it did it. Okay, here we go.
Oh man, I was about to say
Here
something.
we go. Wait, I'll bring you back in a second. We were so what was happening was if you're just joining me, welcome. What was happening was we were trying to get the stream to go, and it was saying that there was a lot of this was a high traffic time. So I don't know what's happening right now. I know that well, I mean, maybe just a lot of people are going live on StreamYard right now, or like a lot of people are going live in general right now. I don't know. I know that I saw that the astronauts were speaking from Artemis 2. We're speaking for the first time. And so maybe that's it. Maybe there's just a lot of live streaming right now. I don't know. It's Sunday, a hot day. What I know also Coachella is happening today, I think too. Let me see what's happening right now. What's happening today? Yeah, I let's see. Are we in a place where we get that live of news? Okay, no. Today's okay. It says on Sunday, April 12th. Major events include Orthodox Easter. Interesting. The continuation of the No Kings protest in Southern California. The Superpower Traits Workshop at the Getty Center. I don't know what that is. It's raining in California right now, which is interesting. And people, so all right. So what happens in California, in LA at least, when it's raining, is people get real. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's my Instagram. Okay, let me go to my Instagram. What is that? Energetically, it's a mixy day. How about that? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Ultimately, StreamYard was like, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all can't go live yet. So we had to wait for like 2 minutes. But here we are. We are live. And what we're going to do is I'm going to be talking to Jessyca Marshall today. And I'm so excited to chop it up with her. Jessyca Marshall is the founder of Microlock Mastery. She is a licensed therapist and author. Microlock Mastery is a global training and certification program that has helped shape the microlock industry as we know it today. With a background as a licensed therapist and Columbia University alumna, she brings a unique perspective that connects beauty, mental health, and personal development. Jessyca created her platform not just to teach a skill, but to raise a standard, focusing on structure, longevity, and the deeper impact on hair and identity, confidence, and overall well-being. She's known for helping both clients and professionals experience transformation that goes beyond appearance, supporting emotional wellness, financial growth, and purpose-driven work. As the author of the Microlock Standards, Jessyca continues to lead conversations around quality, integrity, and evolving the beauty industry into a space rooted in both excellence and care. Coming to the stage, everybody show a lot of love for her. Jessyca Marshall, welcome. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And I want to talk about microlocks. I want to talk about the 3B Society. If you're new here and you didn't know, 3B Society is a community for the ambitious and the curious, people juggling more than most, tired of feeling tired, and done buying into hustle culture as the answer. And I'm building 3B centered around wellness and around the idea that rest is a part of performance and that body is a part of economic mobility, should be a part of performance and performance reviews. Like, how are you taking care of your body and what that looks like? And hair is an especially a big part of that, and having to do with identity. And so I'm so excited to talk to Jessyca Marshall today. Joining me today. Welcome. And to talk about like hair, identity, beauty industry standards. Now we've seen a natural hair movement happen, and it seems like we've settled maybe somewhat on the other side of it, where now it just is what we all can do. But maybe that's not true, and maybe there's still more work to do. But I'm curious where you see it as an expert in this field. Have we gone through the natural hair movement and now we're on the other side where it's acceptable by all and by all workplaces? And Like
Oh,
what have you seen in the journey of like the quote
natural.
acceptance or embracing of just natural hair in general?
As the mainstream society, I believe definitely I've seen that shift. I'm sure you've seen through the years from when we were younger to now how there's much more representation of women or men and women with locks, with afros, with natural hair. So that's amazing to see. But I think we are individually always a work in progress. We're always on a journey and we keep peeling back like layers. So some of us may have started with, I want to have my hair natural. I want to get rid of the perm. I want to you know, get rid of the chemicals. And then we realize there's so much more of us that we want to be more, be more natural or to tap into. So that might lead to, lifestyle changes, diet changes, spiritual change, and it's
Mm.
this whole evolution process that sometimes can start just from hair. I know that was like that for me. And it definitely tapped into the mental health realm big. Um, getting a master's in social work at Columbia and going through a whole identity crisis started from my
Mm.
hair was massive. you know, um, I was like, why can't I accept my natural hair? Why can't I feel beautiful with it? What is going on? Why am I breaking down in the mirror? And that started the whole seeds for
Mm.
the side hustle that I had at the time. So I knew that it was much deeper. And also being in a historically and predominantly white institution, Ivy League level, you're a chocolate chip. And I noticed that all the other African American or African descended students had natural hair, most of them. I thought that was interesting. And so I
Mm.
realized, there's so many dynamics to this journey and being yourself and feeling accepted, but ultimately accepting and loving yourself.
That part. So they have this new thing on StreamYard where you can actually add a poll. I'm gonna see what it will
Okay.
do.
I never
Okay, it says start and show. I wonder if it's just for people who are like, I wonder if people can see it. Can you see it?
No.
I can't see it either. So I'm wondering where people can see it. If you can't see it, then answer it. It says, okay, okay, has the acceptance of natural hair become the norm? Yes, no, we still have more work to do.
Mm,
Oh, there it is.
I
But I
see.
wonder who can answer it.
Oh, they type 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. It said. Oh,
Oh, I see that. Type one, two. Oh, this is new. This is
yeah, I never
different.
saw this one.
Me, me either. What do you think? Has the acceptance of natural hair become the norm? Type one, two, or three in the chat. We got some people watching. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it does something. I'm gonna put one, two, because I think so. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. I'm so intrigued by this. This is my first time using it. Okay, okay. Let me
Mhm.
get back to the subject. We're gonna see. Has the acceptance of natural hair become the norm? Type one, two, or three in the chat. Let's see. Let's test out StreamYard's new polling feature. Let's see if it works. What do you think out there? And if you're driving or you listen to us like somewhere mobile, like you're driving, please be careful if you're driving. Okay. Um. All right. So you said something I want to go back to. You mentioned um you're talking about identity at Columbia. Now I do think it's interesting what you said around like all the students there, or the majority of black students that you saw had natural hair. That's interesting because when I had a t-shirt brand called Made by a Black Woman. I would actually sell better if I was at an event that was not majority black, but then maybe black people would find my table
Mm,
and it would be like, you're the black thing here, I'm buying it. And so I find that interesting when I used to always be like, wow, I would sell more at these events versus like if I was at all black events,
mm,
I wouldn't sell as much. And I would be like, well, I wonder what that is. But there's some through line of similarity here between like at a predominantly white institution, the majority of black students really honing in even more to their identity and maybe somehow coming to a choice of that and being like, who am I here? What does that mean for the world? What were you going through on campus
mhm,
that caused you to challenge your identity, think about it, and then essentially, I don't know, decide to, it may have at sometimes seemed like an act of defiance even,
mhm.
to be like, no, I'm gonna be this. What Talk to us about those moments so you
Yeah,
can go back to them.
I think the seeds were planted in undergrad once I interesting dynamics being in not in Pittsburgh. And I remember really tapping into wanting to be more Black because I was learning my history and I was dealing with some racism. And I remember saying, no, I'm going to embrace being Black. And I remember when I got to Columbia, what it did was uncover some insecurities that I had in myself the whole time. You know,
Mm,
the not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy enough, not feeling smart enough. Although, yeah, we got accepted to this school. You, it was it was definitely challenging those underlying insecurities. And so I think that does make us say, you know, I'm going to embrace, I'm going to work on this and learn to value and love myself even more because I see these things coming up where I need to address it. I think that's what might have been happening for a lot of us. Or maybe just also being in New York City versus coming from Pittsburgh. Very, it was like a culture shock in a bit to see
mm,
African Americans already were embracing their identity because New York City is very good for that. Brooklyn, it was very, very good for business. People, there were so many people just proud to be Black, African American, Caribbean, whatever their background was. And so, but I think being in that institution, definitely, we had discussions often about race because we were in the school of social work. We also saw that our school of social work often was treated a little differently than the
mm,
school of law. We noticed disparities, and I think our school within Columbia probably has one of the highest diversity mix. You'll probably find the most African Americans, most um, ethnic variety. Then I think, and maybe Teachers College might be up on par as well. Then maybe the law or the business. Some of the other schools that seem to have
yeah.
more attention and money. So,
Interesting. I think so. People are not following directions on this poll, so I'm about to remove it. You see what I'm saying? Like people just don't be. I said people putting yes and no in the chat and not actually voting. Like y'all supposed to vote. Okay, we're gonna stop the
so
poll.
one, two, or
Oh, it doesn't show you until
oh,
after. Got it. Oh, so now I just learned something new. So until I hit stop, it actually doesn't show me what the results are.
oh,
Got it. I thought it was gonna show it real time. Hmm.
I know, right?
That's
That's
interesting
cool.
now. We learned something new today. Now we
Yeah.
know that
Mhm.
StreamYard has introduced new widgets that say you can vote. All right, so back to the story. I the reason why I wanted to talk about the identity part is because I think that people like so many people are going through that, especially like, uh, being at a PWI and deciding what your identity is. But there's a new kind of not new, but there's another place right now that we're in. So it's like, okay, natural hair was one thing, and it was a bit of a fight for a while, right? How do you think now when we think about like hair, beauty, identity when it comes to work? Because we're finding more people laid off more than ever, and in high levels of talent being laid off
Mhm.
more than ever. We got over 300,000 Black
Mhm.
people, Black women specifically, who have exited the workforce. And they're using exited, but
Okay.
forced out, exited, left on their own terms. Some did not.
Mm.
Uh, how does hair play a part right now? I think this is something that beauty. How does beauty play a part right now? What do you think?
Interesting, because when you talk about the workforce, that definitely so for I felt like my situation might have been a little different, but that was a concern. Just backtracking it to when I entered the workforce, it was many years ago, but I remember being concerned about my hair. But I think it just touches on an overall theme of adapting for survival, which plays a big role in the history of hair care, natural hair, etc., for especially Black women, but Black men and women, and how many people had, for the sake of their jobs, sake of their positions or titles, didn't necessarily embrace their natural hair in those settings. But I don't know how much of that. I feel like today it's changed, but also by industry too. I do think that I entered in social work, so that was more nonprofit, a little more liberal, a little more. So I felt like my settings, it was very common to see Black people leading a nonprofit or being at the table. I remember being at a table in Manhattan for a meeting, and every Black person at that table had natural hair or locks. And the young Black woman was the boss of the white man. Like, it was, the dynamics were flipped, and I loved it. But I was like, I know this is not the norm in other places. So I think, is your question saying that you think there may be a correlation between why people are not in the workforce, African American men and women, to the job? I just want to make sure I understood.
No, I'm thinking that right now, with so many pressing issues, that the beauty industry has other questions to answer outside of, do I look cute today?
I see what you're
Right?
saying.
Like, I think, or do they? Right? Because I think that, like, there's so much going on. We're at war. People are losing their jobs. When it comes to like skincare or things like that, they're gonna get real choosy. Right? It's like, hey, I can't afford to do this. However, one of the things for me with Sister Lots is, it is one thing I have to continuously afford.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to decide to not do my hair, because a couple things. One, there's only like a handful of people that can even do it.
Right.
So that's number one. So it becomes this sort of exclusive club in a way, where like you got to find a group of people, or like a person that's a specialist. So they're the only people that can do it. So that's that. The next thing is, because of all the retightening over the time that I've gotten it retightened, I don't want to wait too long and have any slippage, and it not stay fresh. So it's like I am actively doing it. And then I think that there is something here around identity, right? Yeah. Identity and beauty, and what that looks like at a time like this. So I think what I was asking is more like, from your perspective, where is beauty playing in at all right now? There's everybody watching is dealing with multiple things.
Yeah.
Right. The gas pump, the job loss for family members.
Oh, that's
inflation. Where right now should the beauty industry be thinking? Where is our beauty professionals thinking?
Okay.
And where do you fit into this conversation?
Okay. So it's interesting you said that, because I always said, and my mentor used to say, that she felt that this was a near recession proof, or near the industry shifted very little with this service, despite what was going on, because it was, like you said, seen as a required maintenance. It's like a required, if you want to keep your hair, like, you obviously, people don't, and they make choices where they can't afford it ultimately. But this was seen as more of a stable, in a sense, because of the necessity. But also, I see what you're saying as the importance, like measuring it to war, gas prices, all those things. I think at the end of the day, this industry has been much deeper than just beauty and hair and skin, and it touches on those deeper layers, where, in hard times, actually, the beauty industry has been known to have more people. It makes people feel better in tough times, to look good, to feel it's definitely directly correlated to psychologically how people feel. So those are the deeper discussions. The hair is an entryway. It seems superficial, it seems very surface, but it's never been that for us. So we can go as deep as we like, we can go way deep into this, than surface level, cultural, spiritual, like I said, psychological. So those are the layers that I think are being tapped on when you see people still, invested in the beauty part of it. It's not just the surface level for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say you have a certification class, right? Like, so maybe this is the optimal time where people want to get into other types of professions, but they never saw themselves being able to do that, because they were so like, I gotta go to college, I gotta get a good, whatever the family deemed as good job, which a lot of times wasn't entrepreneurship. So you might have people who have wanted to do hair this whole time,
They doing it.
But they couldn't. That in Kanye West, when it all falls down, he kind of talks about that, like the woman who was in college. And I knew a woman like that in college, doing whatever she thought her mom wanted her to do, but she really wanted to do hair, right? Like,
Mhm.
so I think that right now, if people, it's the time to try something. Being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur and getting a job is equally risky right now.
Mm.
So it's like, what other skills can people take up? And I think like you have the Market Lock Mastery is a certification program that if people were interested in helping people with locks, because here's the thing, what we know is people going to keep getting their hair done, they're going to keep getting their nails done.
Yeah.
I don't care how bad things get. And part of that is because sometimes that's the only sort of
Yep.
levels of self-efficacy you can like grab at. It's like if I have nothing else,
Yep.
at least I can look good, I can clean up nice, I can have my nails done, I could figure out how to save and move money around to have a great appearance. And I mean, as you're going to interview, you do need a great appearance, right? And so I would say there's an intersection there, but there's also, again, maintaining self-efficacy. Sometimes a good massage, a good, ability to get your hair done, a good, like, at least my nail, look down, my nails look good, actually hypes you up.
Yes. There you go. You're touching on
Hypes
what I
you
was
up,
going to say.
lifts your spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But let's get into the Market Law Mastery Program, because that's something that you have. You actually have a program that people could potentially engage in to get certified as would they be a Micro Lock Master? Is that the right language?
Micro Lock Master certified. You can say Micro Lock Master too, that's our, but a certified loctician, certified micro loctician. Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell us about the program, how it works, what is the typical time frame, process,
Sure.
training?
We are predominantly online based, 24/7 access. So when I was building out this program, I wanted to make it accessible. I wanted to remove barriers as much as possible and allow people to be able to get skills, because I think there's many things that disempowers individuals to maintain their own hair, thus saving money ultimately in the long run from having to be dependent, especially when times are tough. We're trying to find a loctician. And second was being able to possibly generate a source of revenue or create or enhance a business. And so they go through the program. I send them everything. Mannequins, I have the tools that I made many years ago to lock the hair, supplies, and I ship it to them, and they log in and they take their course at their own time, whenever they like. But then we also have coaches, people that have been through our program we have group coaching classes that can support people, optional, but a lot of people find this helpful. And the thing that is coming up that is amazing to hear is that majority of people say it's helped build their confidence. The support system was very much valued. Being in space with other women, supporting each other, helped them get confidence to actually start a business. Maybe they didn't have that in mind at first. And then we help support them through resources. Ultimately, after certification, they still have, we have a worldwide directory of professionals. So my goal was very much a social worker creating a hair business. I always say, like, I wanted to give empowerment, accessibility, and opportunity. So that's all that is in the program. And I started out yapping on YouTube about quality of locks and dropping little things that I felt people should know. And it was a little controversial because I was saying things that was supposed to be secret, like, hey, X, Y, and Z. But that was a social worker in me saying people have a right to information. People have a right to access things that they need. Because I know the power of this for me, the power of helping me, feel beautiful. Like you said, when you feel confident, you actually accomplish more. You're more effective. Your mental health is improved. So all of these things kind of work together. So I use this program has become a tool for so much more for so many people other than just doing hair. It opens up doors to so many things. So I think I told you beyond what you asked me.
No, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
With so your background is in social work, and I want to hear a little bit about what are you thinking around the benefits of having a practitioner that is like having a microlock um, beauty practitioner, or people in the world of beauty having more of a therapeutic and
Something like that.
a therapeutic or social work background. What are some of the benefits of that? Why should
Yeah.
people consider it?
Yeah. I actually met a few social workers. I'm seeing it more and more now. I think number one, beauty salons, barbershops have always been an unofficial place of therapy. Honestly,
For sure.
even for me getting my hair done, I was like, I could not wait to get in that chair so I could catch up with what's been going on. But I think this is a hair has always been healing for me. I think hair, that was one of my quotes was healing hair or something, healing through hair. But I think having a background in social work or therapy or mental health is absolutely beneficial because you touch on all these elements in this industry. It's never skin deep, surface. It's always,
Mhm.
I mean, psychology is what drives marketing anyway for any business, but especially for beauty, hair. They they tend to show what people aspire to be or what they want to look like and use those images to sway the consumer to purchase. So it's all these dynamics that always include.
Mm.
Um, like you said, people. One thing people can count on when they're feeling low is if I can get my nails done. And I have to give a shout out to, she passed away, but Shirley that ran Beauty to the Streets was always in my heart. I always want to get emotional because of the type of work she did providing beauty services to the homeless and watching it change their whole entire from being like feeling downtrodden and worthless to feeling worthy and powerful and beautiful, and how just that hair, just that transformation was so powerful. So that's why I feel like going back to social workers and mental health professionals, I think that this um, we can get into those layers and expand upon those. We can use this as a strategically and intentionally as a healing um, vessel within. So that's how I think that's how I was first unintentionally doing. And then I just realized this is so powerful. I can use this to help transform individuals, communities, and that is in line with me as a social worker.
Yeah.
Empowerment, advocacy, and it's always in my passion in my voice. I'm like, listen, I speak like this because I want people to have good information. I just know how powerful it is. I've seen women in the chair say, I didn't tend to my hair because I was so depressed, and I just felt like I didn't have energy to. Well, she said I didn't have energy. She was showing all the telltale signs of major depression,
Mm.
um, and it was reflecting in her hair. And I
Mm.
usually I start to get a trying to get upset. I get a little bit, I don't like when I see stylists sometimes not understand that. And so they're saying, she just can't keep a schedule and you can't, if you don't do this, I'm gonna charge you this. And it's all, and then I
Mm.
see, and then on another level, as a practitioner stylist, when going through my own storm, how important it was for me to do self-care, at the very least centers myself, go away, breathe, because I was going through a nasty custody battle, housing insecurity, single motherhood, and postpartum depression while running my business. And it still grew because I said, I need to go and figure out how to get myself together and get behind this chair and feed myself and my baby. And so there's a lot of dynamics here that if we had a network or people who understood the industry, mental health more, we could support clients and we can support stylists better and more strategically and intentionally.
You saying something because this is interesting. The intersection between the beauty industry and the world and the industry in the world of therapy or therapeutic services around social work. Because I think you touched on all of that right there. Even you talk about the woman helping Beauty to the Streets, where she was helping like homeless people and getting their like hair done. I also see like barbers who would go out and find like a homeless man and they're like, hey, can I get you a cut? And they come out looking totally different. And then they're
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, you're feeling away. And they give them shoes and clothes and things like that. And I agree with you. This should be visited more, like the tie in between the two and how these industries can work together. And maybe there's an aspect of that. And somebody out there, that could be somebody's nonprofit where you pull these things together. If you don't already.
In the
Is that
yeah,
what your
Hair to
nonprofit's working on?
Empower is in the works. It is. We are working on. It's called Hair to Empower for these elements. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's something here from a policy position and from a healthcare position. So I
Mm-hmm.
think there's something here around like how like what does that look like from an insurance standpoint? Like insurance, you can now like go get a massage or get
Oh
yoga. Like
yeah.
I wonder what it looks like if especially if you've been diagnosed, because a lot of things do pertain to hair, right? So I wonder, I think, don't quote me, but I think there are like wig programs when you go into
Yeah.
like having different kinds of
Medical
cancers.
wigs.
Yeah, but I think that this idea of like anxiety, depression, what it does to your hair, and being able to see it in the
Mm-hmm.
hair, you said that, and I was like, oh, let's talk about that for a second. So when you say you could see, like looking at somebody's hair, because I want to talk about the appointment side in a second too, but being able like how anxiety and depression shows up in the hair.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Is that scalp related? Is that like hair loss?
There's
Is
a
it
lot of
hair
things.
matting? What
So
do you see?
So stress, is inflammatory to the body. There's, huge mental health, physical health connection anyway. So how it affects the hair, we see balding, thinning. I had a client that was going through a tumultuous divorce. And when things were extra rough, we noticed that her hair thinned out even more. And it would start to try to
Mm.
grow back again when she was like, everything's cool. And then go through another wave of tumultuous chaos. And
Mm.
so I could see direct, I can even, without her even saying anything, I said, how are things? Are they a little tough right now? Yeah, girl. And you can see it thinning out. So, I mean, just what that inflammation of that level of stress was doing to her hair, let alone just how it affects the whole body. But other scalp conditions, same thing, inflammation. So
Mm.
we know there's a huge correlation between that, and yeah, definitely. And on a
Wow.
cultural note, on a spiritual note, it used to, when people's hair was disheveled or unkept, usually when people were mourning or grieving or going through a hard mental health time, that was like an indicator that they couldn't keep up their hair. So they may not see physical damage. It may be how they lack the lack of maintenance, the lack of care and attention. That's also signs of mental health challenges, and doesn't it could be temporary, but a lot of cultures definitely associated that. So that's why there's a lot of, especially in our community, you got to keep your hair done. You got to
Oh
present.
yeah. And then I think the interesting thing about having people with a therapeutic background be included is because you try sometimes I think people think they're hiding it. It was like so getting your hair done is a way of hiding it too. And I wonder if there's space in those chairs, in those moments where, excuse me, essentially people are going, like you're going to allow yourself to be served,
Mhm,
right? I think there's a lot there. Like
mhm.
I could brainstorm for days on that because I'm just thinking like, dang, if you do, even people dealing with abuse, like you do see those things. What can you do though? So
Yeah,
like, okay, so you see a person, you can work with them on the hair, but
right.
what can you do as a as a beauty professional in
Hmm.
those times? So let's say people are not out there, they're out there, they're watching this. Maybe they're not therapeutically trained, or they're not, they're not they don't have like especially in social work,
Hmm.
but they do see their clients are dealing with things.
Hmm. Well,
What
I
can
think
they do?
at the very least, getting in tap with local resources would be helpful.
Mm,
And that's something that, social workers and mental health professionals like myself and others in the industry could help make accessible. I do know there's other mental health professional that has all training for not locticians, stylists, hair care professionals to identify mental health. I think that's amazing. I don't know as much about it, but all the details. But adding on to that, I think in general, we should be able to have point someone in a direction, identify something. Also, it needs to inform us of how we interact with them. So before we get snappy and start getting an attitude, not, some of us, some of us need to check ourselves. And I tell people, you cannot bring stuff to the chair. You don't know what anybody else is dealing with. So you're going to misinterpret someone's lack of keeping with their appointments as an assault on you because you didn't deal with your stuff. So now you're being overly harsh, but you don't know what you say or do that could really significantly impact that person in your chair. They could be going through something and never tell you because it's not your business, but then you are handling it in a way that's not compassionate, not understanding. I see that. I've seen that. And
Oh
I've had
man,
people,
what?
yeah,
Like
coming
every woman out there can definitely attest to dealing with a beauty
out.
professional who has no compassion and no
Yeah,
empathy at all.
yeah.
Like, and I think there's a like from the sister locks lens, there is also this I'm a hot commodity, you need to get with me. You know what I mean? There is this like, well, I'm not gonna have time for you if you just don't book now, right? There's like, there's also this like, well, I don't know what to tell you because if you don't, I can't get you in. If you know what I mean? There is because you can't because and so there is an anxiety inducing moment in the scheduling of sister lots for me.
I didn't experience that. That's what my experience
I
was.
mean, I have mine scheduled months out now. Now, like I schedule before I leave, but like at first, because I got my sister lots installed in Kenya. So coming back here, I had to find a stylist, a loctician, or whatever. Found somebody, but it's always this weird. Interestingly enough, the process of finding a therapist and finding like a sister lot practitioner feel alike. Like you call, nobody answers you. You leave a message, nobody gets back to you.
Oh wow.
Then, or you call and they're like, well, they ask you all these questions. Well, how long did your hair? What did you do? Can you send me some pictures? Like, and I get it. They're making sure you're the best client for them as well. I get that. Same thing with therapy. But they often don't have front offices or receptionists who can handle you with a level of care.
Customer service.
They don't know customer service is in between. And so the practitioner is dealing with a lot too. The practitioner need to make time for therapy because the practitioner is dealing with, I'm trying to keep my money going. I'm trying to make sure I have enough clients so I can eat. And here you up here feeling like you playing with my time. You know what I mean? Like,
because yeah. And we tap into scarcity and lack mentality. You got a whole other layer. It's a lot.
And I mean, like, I've been a bartender before.
Me too.
But I bartended part time. So that whole like, if you don't move, you don't eat thing is real, and it becomes even more real. And so I don't know. I think the reason why like I kind of like let go of the lack of empathy that beauty professionals have is because I'm like, I get it. You're trying to like hair appointment per appointment is dollar amount coming in for you to do whatever you're doing, and you don't have nothing else. I get it. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I kind of go like, and I would say like I don't think I'm alone in like letting it go because like okay, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna let it go. But this one time, my current lady that I work with, bless her heart, she's I love how she does my hair. She's quick. She has a salon, so I get it washed, all that. Because before that, I was going to a lady who did not have a salon. She was kind of like in a co-working space. I got to wash my own hair and then go in and she retwist it. Whatever. She was cool, but I love going to a salon better because now I could just go in. I don't got to worry about washing my own hair, all that.
Yeah.
But so in LA, a lot of things are tap to pay. I mean, like, and I think that like, we're getting there across the country, but I feel like in Europe, everything's tap to pay. Even your local little cart on the side of the road, they can tap to pay. Right. So like in LA, I find that it's more like that. In DC, they're getting there. Virginia, they're getting there. But here, everything is tap to pay, which I love. So I'm asking her, like, can you tap to pay? And whatever little dongle thing she had to use would never be ready, never charged up, never connected, never whatever. And so I was just like, Every time she's looking for it, she can't find it. It won't work. It won't charge. So as I'm leaving one time, I said, "Hey, do you think next time, can we just prepare for that?" Because every time I come home and ask for tap to pay, she got such an attitude about it. Now, mind you, I'm not going into anybody's business leading with like who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going in there like, girl,
you know who I am.
right? I'm not doing that because that's not what
Mhm.
I'm here for. I'm who I am for who I am for, and I'm not who I am for who I'm not for. And I want everybody's business to be blessed. But she got such an attitude with me that I didn't really understand. Like I was like, girl, I'm trying to help your business. So what, like.
Sometimes that a lot of that's about insecurity on their part. Like they're not prepared. They don't have they don't know. So now they feel threatened. Saying it happens when people ask questions about repair too, and they don't know the answer. So they're defensive. You should have just, instead of I appreciate that. You know what? That would make it maybe more streamlined. I don't have it. I appreciate that. Thank you for your patience. Kind of seeing it as an opportunity to improve. Instead, they take a defensive thing because it's some type of thing in their mind that says they have to have it all together right there.
And after
Psychology
that, I
all
was
in
turned off.
it.
After that,
Yeah.
I didn't want to tip no more.
Oh man, she lost the
But I
opportunity.
feel like she's one of maybe 5 practitioners in the city that are black. Actually, ain't no white. It's just a lot of people. But maybe 5 that are 5, and then maybe 2 that actually have a salon, and then the one that is the closest to me. So I feel like I'm locked in to using her, and she's great. No tea, no shade. But I'm just saying that like that attitude just took me
Yeah.
aback. Like I was just like, I don't want to talk to you. At least I ain't got to talk to you for a month.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
But
But
that's a concern across industries too, though. With us sometimes. I think, yeah. But yeah,
around people like just having attitudes with their clients.
yeah, the reputation that we have, yeah, don't do well customer service sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But don't get me wrong, I'm guessing there's some terrible clients too. Like I'm usually not I'm talking to you and I'm talkative, and like if you've met me in person or been around me in person, like I'm pretty much like a people person in that sense. When I get my hair, I'm not. When I get my hair done, I'm not like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. When I get my hair done, and the girl who was my loctician in Virginia, she'll tell you I didn't want to talk.
Okay.
Like I don't. A lot of times I don't want to talk, and it's because one, I'm talking all day or meetings all day. So really that's just my moment to put my headphones in.
Moment. Yeah.
Let my hair be done, and I'm looking at Instagram on my phone or whatever.
Right.
Like I don't want to talk. I'm kind of tuning out the world. Whatever they're playing in the shop never freaking makes sense to me. Whatever movie they got on or whatever music, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why are we watching this? Why are we watching this? You know what I mean? Like I was like, I
can't watch something different if you wanted to watch something.
Probably, but then she might get an attitude about that. I don't got time for that. I'll just watch my phone.
Okay.
And just carry on.
You think that that's rubbing her the wrong way when you do that, or when you say that you don't talk? How do you think the style?
Well, my practitioner in Virginia, I think initially, she was kind of like, this person might not be a nice person, but I am a nice person.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like talking. Just do my hair and leave me alone. Like I don't want to. It's kind of like when you get into Ubers,
right?
And you're like, I just want to get to my destination, bro. Like I know it's a 30, 45-minute drive. I don't feel like talking.
I think if more professionals understood that, or I'll say, I don't know the word, I'm interchanging stylist, loctician, professional, but I did have someone that worked with me. And sometimes we worked together, and I could see her getting frustrated when the client just wanted to not talk. She was very, talkative and bubbly, and I am too, but I would have to tell her, don't take it personal if they just want to be quiet. It's not against you. It does feel awkward sometimes. It can if you allow it to, but you have to realize that people have long days or coming from busy homes or whatever is going on. And so this time they may just want to be quiet. So they're being polite, like she might ask a question. So do you have children? Or, she's trying to make small talk and they're like one word or they're not as responsive. And she used to get so upset. And I could understand what she felt when I was early in my career, but I realized, that sometimes everybody's supposed to be your friend, everyone's supposed to clap, but this is not always about you. We're doing a yeah.
What would be dope? what would be awesome is if like when you set your appointment that you could say like on Uber when they be like, you want a conversation or no conversation?
Oh
You want
yeah,
to be warm or you want to not be warm? Like
right.
I would, let me tell you, I would love to
Yeah.
have a salon chair that is warmed because the majority of the time I'm cold.
Oh
I'm going in
yeah.
there with a hoodie on because I know that the
I have a
professional, she
space
probably
here.
hot.
My client likes. Well,
Oh, really?
we home. She's a friend now, so we home
I
base.
mean, we're in LA, so ain't nobody trying to turn no heaters on for real. But still, it's like I'm in there kind of. I usually put a hoodie on because I'm freezing. But
Mm,
all these elements of customer comfortability is really what we're talking about.
yeah.
And how do you do that from a therapeutic standpoint?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny because I don't think even in the realms of like customer service training, there is nobody talking to you about this therapeutic language or you talk maybe about psychology loosely, but the therapeutic language is just how to be even in spirituality as a wellness practitioner. There's language that you may use because you're moving people through very vulnerable moments. And
Mm,
I don't think that people understand that like even just any beauty procedure you're getting is a vulnerable moment. Like
yeah.
your body has to be available to the other person. If that's your
Yep.
hair,
And seeing your hair regular, all
if you're
plain.
laying on a table,
Mhm.
if you are getting a massage, these are vulnerable moments.
Yes.
And even the person who is a practitioner or the beauty professional may not even understand it as a vulnerable moment either.
Yeah.
Right. So to your point around like noticing that somebody, the way their hair is, what's happening in their hair, talks is telling a story.
Hmm.
I have people who will question you like, what are you doing to your hair? Like they'll be like, the
I can
question.
see when someone's done a person before me and that they rushed or that they didn't pay attention. I
Mm,
can, and sometimes the energy, I could feel they were rushing through your hair, right? Yeah, they got me in and out. I could feel it. Like,
mm.
yeah, it's energy.
You know, it's funny you say that. So the woman who started my locks when I had regular locks, I would only go to her to start my locks because I'm a firm believer into like lock maintenance, yes, but how you start, I'm a firm believer in the energy of that. So there was this when I
Mhm.
had regular locks, these are sister locks now, but the regular ones I had, I cut them off and started them twice. So
Uh,
there's one woman in Baltimore, she's a poet, her name is Luminous.
mhm.
I would go to her every time, like, I need you to start my locks because she's the only person I wanted to touch my head in the beginning of my growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to, because I think like that growth journey is everything.
Mm-hmm.
That energy of who's touching your head. You know, I practice Ifa. Your head is your Ori. This is your primary,
Exactly. Frown. Thank
your
you.
crown. This is your primary lead, your primary goddess. This is your primary
Now we
space.
get, and I feel chills. Now we getting where we need to be taught. Now we
Yeah,
get.
this is primary. Like you can't just be letting
Mhm.
everybody touch your head. Like
Yep.
you're
Control the
guided, led
energy.
from here, where you're receiving from here. You have to be very mindful of who you let touch your head.
Yes. So when you feel that energy, that attitude, that misdirected projection, transference, whatever the stylist is going on, that's really serious to me. Like that's, you know, I actually can feel energy from clients to me. I remember I first
Mm,
started, I had to tell my mentor who was very tuned into this convo. And I said, I felt a wave of sadness. I felt, and I was just telling her, but
mm,
this, I love this person's to this day is she does her own hair now, but my heart. But I felt that energy from, and then she ended up telling me her story. I was like, that makes
mm,
so much sense. This I felt it. But that's why I said no matter what I was going through, I had to step away and get myself together because I knew that I was privileged to touch their head. Just as much as I feel that they might felt a privilege
mm,
for me or whoever to do their hair, that it's an equal privilege. You're allowing me to grace your crown. Like so full
mm,
transmission, full, like it's a full vulnerability. And so that's why underneath the I like good quality work is that if you have a mindset of doing good quality work and integrity, you're going to have a different energy anyway. We're not just saying get the dollar, get the money, get the dollar. And we're saying provide long lasting work is how you keep your client.
mm.
The nuances that, yeah, you're
Yeah, I
right.
would pay now, and when if you have sister lots, I don't know how micro lock services work monthly, but
All my clients,
you easily paying 250 plus 300. Like you're paying 250 plus to get your hair done every month.
mm-hmm.
And if I would pay an extra $100 for a more caring
Yep. I've heard that.
experience. I would, because the way that men have you ever, now you see people doing a lot of the beard services,
Mhm.
and they do the steaming, and they like and
Yes.
they lay them back, and they're doing like the nice massage, all of that, and it's like that's a salon level experience. And I think, sometimes when it comes to like, and then another thing, to your point around like being privileged to be at, touch somebody's head, a crown, is that you are the what's it called? The interlock process is pulling, right?
Mhm.
So, and that's just naturally in the way it works. So you just interlock, pull out, interlock, pull, like you're doing that all over my head, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anybody's thinking about the level of comfortability you could
Mhm.
provide to your client while that's happening to their, like, what else could be happening to my body while that's happening to my head?
Oh, right.
And that's what's interesting about like the salon experiences from getting your nails and your feet done, is they've somehow figured out that like if this chair just vibrates, the vibrating chair could suck. You know what I mean? Like,
But
it's not even, it's not
well,
even a good vibrating chair.
pedicure
But
salon, they know that. They put a
they
vibrating.
know that
Mhm.
if the chair just vibrates,
Mhm.
that it passes time for you different.
Yes.
That they are physically, like they are physically doing things to your hands that are shaving down, cutting off,
Mhm.
applying, shaving, heat.
Mhm.
Like they're doing things to your fingertips that create sensations in the body. But they have come to understand that if we put this massage thing on, it somehow moves you psychologically into a different space. For hair, we haven't figured that out yet. At least I haven't seen
Not
salons,
on a mass level.
not at a
I
mass
had a
level, and
reclining, my
expensive, I
mentor.
bet,
Yeah, she didn't have
because the kind of chair would have to be expensive. The kind of electricity or whatever going to the chair. Or just if you could put, I don't know, inserts. I don't know. But I'm saying that if you're out there,
that's good.
there probably is a way to think of how do you deliver a more comfortable experience
Mhm.
to a client while they get their hair done. Even
Yeah.
if you had a blanket. Hey, here's a warm blanket. Hey, here's a let me plug it in for you. Are you cold? You might want to put this over your legs if you came in with a
So
dress
we
on.
do I'm sorry, cut you off. We
No,
do
no, go, go, go.
to the professionals in our program. We do, and I had a caring stylist guide in my earlier launch of it, written from perspective of how to make sure we support our clients through the process. And then we talk about, so we touch on it. We could definitely go deeper into, but we touch on making the environment conducive to your client. I remember mentioning stories about someone said they were in someone's home and the husband went in there and like pajamas and started frying chicken, and then the other client had the home. It
OMG.
was, I remember these stories that people would tell me when they came to my chair. Now, again, I had a home based setting. I'm not gonna lie, I did it until I moved to a different setting. But I was very intentional about environment because my mentor was and had a little waterfall thing going. She had
Mm.
no TV, which is interesting. But we didn't even have cell phones. We had cell phones, but it wasn't smartphones like now. When I started 2008, so she would even have a policy about just relaxing and not even having a cell phone. She couldn't do that for a few years after that because people are too attached now. But it was intentional about making the environment calming and
Mm.
serene, and she had these little rules in place, and also it was her space, so she wanted it to be respected and also to be you know supportive of the client. So she had a reclining chair. She put intention into things, and so I definitely convey a lot of that message to our professionals. Mm-hmm.
Or anything you want to,
Uh-huh.
I love this conversation that we've had
I love it too.
because we went into so many different directions. And I think one thing that highlights here is the therapeutic and psychological
Yeah,
aspect
I love
of hair, getting your hair done, what that looks like. Jessyca Marshall from Micro Lock Mastery. Thank you so much for joining me. What
it.
is there anything you want to leave the people with, where they need to go, what they need to do?
Well, I mean, if they want to do a small plug for microlockmastery.com, if you want
Totally.
to visit that.
Don't do a small plug. Do a big plug.
Yeah, microlockmastery.com if you want to learn more about our programs, but also we are moving more into this discussion of mental health. So just keep following me if you can, Jessyca Marshall, or it's Jessyca NBHC CEO. Mike, it's something on YouTube, but JessicaMarshall.com, Jessica with the Y. I'll be adding more things on there because we will be having more discussions like this, really expanding on the mental health conversation and helping us to just ultimately be at our best and help support others and bring us all to high levels of abundance and success.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much
I
for
love it.
this
Thank you for
conversation.
joining me. I really appreciate it. It was a great
This was
conversation.
great. Yeah. I
This
see
is
you at
this is
hang
great.
time. I meant to tell you.
Hey, listen, I'm getting that. You see me.
I
Ow.
see it.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah,
Remember, I started these joints was like
I
little tiny,
know.
tiny.
I was
Yeah,
like, I meant to
so
tell you when you went live. I was like, oh, I was saying, get ready to say, oh, I see you. And you were like, we're live. And I was like, yeah,
I absolutely love my hair. It's one of the best decisions that I have made. I've had several kinds of locks. I've had larger locks twice, cut
right.
them off, grown like all the way down my back, cut them off. And I don't. I'm rocking with these. These are so
No,
good. I love them. It's the closest thing to having like just strands of hair, but also still having locks.
yes.
I've also just I'm loving it. I think at some point, when I'm balling, when I get my money up in the next realm, and then, I would love to have somebody to come to my house,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna open a wellness center at some point. Have somebody that will come to the wellness center because I do think like setting is everything, and
Yes.
and a lot of times I love the salon feel because I get my hair washed and all that, but there's still a lot going on
A
sometimes.
lot of energy in there.
Yeah, a lot of energy going on,
Mhm.
aside from whatever energy the practitioner has. So it's
Mhm.
like, you're trying to just move through it all. And so
Resolve the emotions, and that's why we need
I would love to warm
spaces.
up the space energetically,
Yes, and
and it's typically not as warm. So it's like,
yes.
yeah, so I think that would be my hope. That's my goal eventually. But I got
I
big dreams for I want a driver. You know what I mean?
yes,
I want to just be resting
yes,
my
girl.
whole life.
The life of ease, the life of, and
Life
that's
of
what I'm
peace,
saying. We all can
ease.
have that. We don't have to,
Yes,
and it's really starts with here, and the mindset shift and knowing that you deserve that, and that is
100%. And I'm gonna start sharing. So I'm gonna start openly sharing. I don't know when I'm gonna start, but it'll be like day one of me building out this wellness life of mine.
mm-hmm.
I want to do more. I want to do more of that. Somebody said in the comments there should be talks about customer service, like customer service tutorials.
Okay,
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I know you've been
okay,
doing things about like locks themselves,
yeah.
but you
I'm
know,
switching gears. That's why I haven't been. Yeah, we're gonna be talking more about more of this deeper. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you could, everybody could talk
I
about
love that. But
it.
I'm excited to see that because I feel like there
Mhm.
needs to be more
Yeah.
of that conversation, how to think about it, and you have the expertise in the background, so
Yep.
I'm excited to see what you do with it.
All of
Thank
my
you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you so much for having me. It was
All right, have a good
wonderful.
rest of your day.
You too.
Shout out to Jessyca. Jessyca Marshall, Jessyca with a Y, JessicaMarshall.com, microlockmastery.com. I'm sorry, microlockmastery.com. Make sure you check her out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's been 3B Society. Earlier, the reason why the title of this says part 2 is because earlier I did go live, but I went live on all the 3B Society things, and now I'm live on the Omi side. So I was a bit early about naming things. And something that I really realize is that I'm so good at naming things outside of me and then focusing on that. If you're that kind of person, keep watching because I am now saying yes to 3B Society and all that, but also Omi Bell as a businesswoman intersected with wellness practitioner. And what does that look like? And the idea that you don't have to choose, right? We were taught that we had to choose between ambition and rest, success and body, building something and belonging somewhere. And I'm saying no. The 3B Society is a community for the ambitious and the curious. People juggling more than most, tired of feeling tired, and done buying into hustle culture as the answer because rest is a part of performance. So follow at Omi Bell, at the Omi Show on YouTube, or at 3B Society on YouTube. For Instagram, it's at the 3B Society. And I just put out the 3B brief, giving you news that you want to know about body, business, and belonging. I just put that out this morning, so go check that out. And remember to put the in front. It's the 3B Society on Instagram. Everywhere else, I'm Omi Bell. You can find me there. I'm pretty findable. For you, reach out, ask questions. If you have a business that intersects with, if you have business, if you have something you're doing that intersects with body, business, or belonging, reach out to me at Omi Bell on Instagram, or text me at 202-918-4483. 202-918-4483. If you want to come on to the show. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks to all of Jessyca Marshall's audience as well, who also joined the stream. We appreciate y'all. I'm Omi Bell signing off. Have a great rest of your day. Actually, if you listen to SiriusXM, then if you turn to channel 126 right now, my other show on SiriusXM is live right now. SiriusXM channel 126, Urban View. You can go check it out. It's live right now if you go channel 126. If you're in the car, or if you get in your car, turn to SiriusXM channel 126. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.